It's 27th of July. The process is pulling out the power to think for myself even further, as it has done for years, leaving me in a brain-dead, mindless state. I haven't got the ability to think for myself. I haven't got the ability to have any idea. I'm completely brain-dead and brainless. The thoughts and power that you've got to get up and, for example, you've got scheduled plans to meet your friends or to clean your car, to look after the kids. You've left the microwave, you've left something in the microwave or the kettle boiling, or you've got the knowledge that you've got a package that needs ordering, or the date that you get paid, or the fact that you're meeting your family or friends next week, or you've got a dinner, or you're waiting for somebody to send you something, or anything that uses your mind where you've got knowledge of something happening. That's gone for me because they've pulled it all out over 8 years. And it's agonizing and painful. In reality, what I'm trying to tell you is they've pulled the power out and internalized it. So I'm completely brain dead. When you're watching a film and you can somewhat foresee or feel what is happening within the images, and you can somewhat try and get some depth or feel the situation, and you can grasp the emotions or the images or scenery that's happening, you can almost envisage or try and relate somewhat with your own experiences as to what it is, and you can feel it. I don't get this because they've internalized my power to use me in a robotic state. It means you're brain dead. You're in a complete brain dead state. You cannot move because they've internalized your power to control you in a robotic state. It means you're in a mindless robotic state. Initially, when this first happened, I struggled to even think of my own name. It means you constantly cannot remember anything. You've got no relation to anything because they've internalized your power. You don't get a life when they internalize somebody's power. You don't get the feelings of romance, or you do not get the feeling of excitement, or what I'm doing now. You struggle to speak correctly or talk to people in the basis that you cannot think. They've internalized your ability to think. So when you're trying to talk or when you're trying to speak, you struggle to speak fluently on the basis that they've internalized your power. Your brain, or the fact that you're brain dead and you haven't got the power there, it cannot bridge off and remember the words that are next in line. This means that you're potentially handicapped to some extent because the individuals have pulled out your power. In conclusion, what they've done is they have criminalized my power. They've claimed that my power is deviant, or it's got potential for high risk criminality. So what the system then does is it goes out and internalizes it. It internalizes it, then it can control it. So the system, or the officers working in the system, whether it's probation officers or police officers or whatever it is, they claim that if your power is deviant, it will go out and commit crime. So to prevent that crime, they will internalize it in an institutional self. It means they can then have power over it, and they can prevent that from then committing crime. But what they forgot to mention is, or what it doesn't tell you in a sociology book is, or it doesn't tell you in the news is, this then deems the individual completely brain dead and institutionalized. Not only does this stop them from it obviously doesn't stop them from committing crime because they have the power internalized, they end up back in jail. But the point is, it's supposed to stop them committing crime, but it never does. However, it does deem the individual incapable of living outside, because what they have then done is they have left the individual brain dead and they cannot think for themselves. I mean, they haven't got any idea that they haven't got the power there I've seen people where they haven't got the ability to speak or communicate correctly because they've had the power internalized. I've met people completely brain dead. They cannot speak, and it will get blamed on drugs. It will get blamed on mental health. It's the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard in my entire life. They've had the power internalized into an institutional self in a way that officers can use them as a pawn just to mess around with. They've got humans in a complete controlled state because they've internalized the power, and they just use them to mess around. Put homosexuality into the main drive so that they're messing around with them in jail, having sex with other probation officers' cases, are also in a robotic state. It's an absolute joke.